What is going on, everybody? Gamers getting back here today, coming off of another 3-2 week in the feature picks of college football week number 9. We are in week number 10. As always, let's get over to my updated top 25. As you can see, there has been some movement. Virginia did move down, even though they won. Was not impressed with them. Georgia Tech moved up. They look good. Oregon looked a little shaky in the rain against Wisconsin. Had to move them down. Not big red flags, but a little bit of a red flag there. I still think Alabama's pretty good. Houston moves up, even though they had a bad week 2 weeks ago. Last week they handled business against Arizona State, so you know what? I moved them up because they were really close to being up anyway. So bad week against UAB, they turned it around, so they are up. And then Navy cracking into the top 25 as well as an undefeated. All right. So, as always, we do the quick picks for pretty much all the games that are not the feature ones, right? But this week we have Tuesday games again, so let's just quickly get on into them. Tuesday, we got UTEP going up against Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State's been pretty solid this year, 28-17 in their favor. We get JMU, who, spoiler alert, JMU is like right on the brink of getting in there and taking Memphis' spot. Was Memphis the one that lost to UAB? One of Houston or Memphis lost to UAB. It might have been Memphis. I forget. I had it written down, but I forget which one it was. But either way, JMU on the verge of making it into the top 25 in the next couple of weeks. Texas State, solid team. They'll score with you, but JMU just better, 42-31. Next, we get 2 Wednesday games. We get Jacksonville State going up against Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee, not good. Jacksonville State, not much better, but they'll win 24-14. FIU going up against Missouri State. I got Missouri State winning only because it's a home game for them, 21-17. Then we go to Thursday. Thursday we have Marshall versus Coastal Carolina. I am taking Coastal Carolina because they're at home, 27-24. Don't love this game. Next we get Tulane versus UTSA. Tulane in my top 25. They're number 18. They will handle business. They will do their thing. 35-17. They're beating UTSA at UTSA. Next, we get 2 of the Friday games. We got Memphis versus Rice. Memphis, they look good this week. Obviously, we know they've had a hiccup this season already. They will not have a hiccup against Rice. 38-17. Give me Memphis. UNC going up against Syracuse. UNC almost pulled off the unthinkable by beating Virginia. They didn't. I do have them beating Syracuse 21-17. Then we get Sam Houston looking for their first win of the season going up against Louisiana Tech. I am giving Louisiana Tech the edge there, 24-21. Then we get into the Saturday games. We got Rutgers versus Illinois. Illinois coming off of an L. Rutgers just keeps catching teams on bad weeks. Illinois going to be playing with a vengeance. Illinois wins 38-14. Buffalo versus Bowling Green. Tough one to pick. I'm going Buffalo 28-24. Not confident in it. We get Penn State versus Ohio State. I think this will be closer than people think. Penn State always tends to give Ohio State a decent run for their money, but Ohio State should comfortably win still. 28-17 is my score there. Then we get Army versus the Air Force. I think this is going to be a high-scoring 38-35 win for the Army. Next, we get UAB versus UConn. Just talked about UAB getting a victory. Well, guess what? UConn is going to win this one 24-17. Duke versus Clemson, kind of jump ball there. I went with Duke. I liked seeing Duke against Illinois earlier this season. A little bit more physical than maybe Clemson has been so far. Give me Duke 24-21 in that one. All right, and we're gonna get into our first featured game of the week. And this one, give me 1 second. There we go. I'm just keeping my timestamps so that I don't have to come back later and talk about them now. But anyways, We got Navy looking to keep their season undefeated, going up against the one-loss North Texas. This is essentially a playoff game. Navy could make it in to the playoffs, believe it or not, as an undefeated. North Texas, we talked about, could have been a playoff representative. Well, guess what? USF had a hiccup. They lost to USF. We know that. They had their hiccup. Now, North Texas, it's going to be an uphill battle, but if they went out, they might be able to make some noise there for that 12th spot in the playoffs. Now, it's an uphill battle. I do know that, especially playing as not a Power 4 conference, but North Texas has an outside chance still. Navy, all their games are in front of them, right? If they can make it, if they win out, they will be a playoff team. We will see here in this game who comes to play and who doesn't. You know the kind of game that you're going to get out of North Texas. Navy has played in some of those high-scoring games. Mestemaker coming off of, I believe, like a 600-yard performance. You know what North Texas is going to do. They're going to air it out. They're going to let their freshman QB sling the ball around, get it to their playmakers. Navy, do you have an answer? Can you keep up with that? You are on the road at North Texas. It is a tough environment to win at. You saw how many fans really bought in when they were hosting USF earlier this season. Granted, that didn't go their way. This is another big chance here for North Texas to make their name a little bit more relevant to the national stage. This is the same thing with Navy, right? Another big moment for a team here in Navy to make their name relevant on a national stage. Both of these guys, both of these teams, very capable of getting things done here. I'm going North Texas because they're the home team. I tend to trust Mestemaker. I tend to believe that at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, the better offense is on the North Texas side. Now, we saw in the USF game, they are susceptible to mistakes, and maybe one or two mistakes Navy can take advantage of and win this football game. But when it's a game that I expect to be an absolute just scoring fest, I've got to rock with North Texas. I'm going 45-42 for North Texas. But it should be a really, really good game in that one. All right, let's head on back to more quick picks, even though the next game on the list is a feature game. We are going to do some quick picks, then head on over to Vandy in Texas. But we got ECU going up against Temple. Temple should win that one 27-21. Louisville versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's been playing better football lately, but Louisville still wins 27-21. New Mexico versus UNLV. I do like UNLV to win. I got 38-17 there. New Mexico State going up against Western Kentucky. Give me Western Kentucky in a close 27-24 game. We get to Louisiana going up against South Alabama. Not a great game there on either end. I'm taking South Alabama, kind of a coin flip, 28-24. Michigan State versus Minnesota. I think it'll be close. I do like Minnesota more. I'm going 28-24 in Minnesota's favor. Then we get Delaware versus Liberty. Going to be an interesting game. I'm going 31-28 for Delaware. I was debating making Georgia versus Florida a feature game. It's not. But I think Florida has a chance. Georgia, though, wins 24-21. Fresno State versus Boise State. Give me a Boise State. They need to go perfect throughout the rest of the season if they have any sight of a chance. 35-21 in that one. Old Dominion going up against Louisiana Monroe. Old Dominion, you know they'll score 38. Louisiana Monroe 24. Indiana versus Maryland. Maryland, capable. Don't think it's going to happen. Indiana 35-17. Pitt versus Stanford. Give me Pitt to win that one, 28-17. Stanford in the first half looked pretty good against Miami. Then it all collapsed. Mississippi State versus Arkansas. Should be a good game. Mississippi State gave Texas a good run for their money. Mississippi State should win this one. I'm going 24-21 Mississippi State. Central Michigan versus Western Michigan in a battle of Michigan. We're going with Central Michigan to win 27-24 in a coin flip. Oklahoma State going up against Kansas. I got Kansas winning that one 35-10. We got South Carolina versus Ole Miss. We're going Ole Miss to win 32-27, and let's get on over to Vanderbilt versus Texas. Vanderbilt versus Texas. Diego Pavia, take a bow, man. This Vanderbilt team is good. They're cooking on all cylinders. They won that Missouri game by 1 inch. By 1 inch. Hail Mary. Caught it at the inch-yard line. They beat Missouri. Texas, they should have just lost to Mississippi State, if I'm being honest with you. Mississippi State blew that game. It's a game they should have won. Texas has not looked good. Arch Manning, once again, we are assuming health is fine. He went down late in that game in the overtime. Vandy, they are operating at a great level at the moment. Texas, they're kind of sputtering, out of control. They're kind of just staying afloat. Vandy's thriving. This is a game that Texas can win. Texas, by all means, can win this game. It is a home game from Texas. They should win this game. The question becomes, will they? What version of Texas do we get? Do we get the Texas that stormed back and beat Mississippi State? Do we have the version of Texas that has shown flashes of being a top 10 team in the country? Or do we have the version of Texas that showed that they had no place in the top 25? Texas is a hard team to figure out. They are. Texas, like I said for other schools already, they have to go perfect to make the playoffs. Vandy, they might be allowed one or two hiccups. Or, well, one more hiccup. They've already lost once. They might be allowed one hiccup. This is a must-win for Texas. It's in their stadium. At the end of the day, I gotta trust that Texas can get the job done. I gotta trust that they can get it done. Will they? I don't know, but I'm taking Texas to win this one 31-27. I gotta pick Texas. They're the ones playing with their backs up against the wall, and that's sometimes, not always, sometimes when you get the best football out of somebody. So we are taking Texas to win. Back to the quick picks. And we are going to, I don't know if we'll wrap them up. We still have 3 more feature games, all right. 3 more feature games, so we'll do a few here. Then we'll jump on into the next feature game. Purdue versus Michigan. Give me Michigan 28-17. Should be easy for them. Wyoming versus San Diego State. San Diego State looks pretty good this year. 31-17 there in their favor. Washington State versus Oregon State for a battle of the Pac-12. Washington State should win. Oregon State's not very good. 28-21 for Washington State. Then we get to Wake Forest versus Florida State. I don't want to pick Florida State, man. I don't want to, but I am. 31-28 there. And then our last one before we head on over to another feature game, we are going to do Kentucky versus Auburn. I think that's going to be a real low-scoring game. Give me Auburn to win 17-10 there. All right, let's get into another feature game, and this one is USC going up against Nebraska. Big Ten battle. Like I said, with a lot of teams, playoff chances are on the line here. Both teams, 2 losses, right? Nebraska kind of floating around as maybe a team that could be a top 25 team. USC, same thing there. Teams that have been pretty solid and have been top 25 at points this season. Both of these teams have to go perfect to make their way into the playoffs if it's possible for them. I really like this USC team. Nebraska has been a team I've kind of been sour on at times. I'm not the biggest Nebraska fan. It is a game in Nebraska, though. It is in Nebraska. So that even, what's there to do in Nebraska on Saturdays? Go to the football game, right? Everybody in the state is going to be there. USC, they've gone on the road to an environment like Illinois. That same thing there, right? Everybody's going to be at the game, packed crowd. They came up short there. they've been on the road. They've done this song and dance once and twice already this season. USC, while they have came up short, I think this time they won't. I'm going USC to win. I like USC here. I think you can make Raiola make some mistakes that you could capitalize on. I don't know where Nebraska is going to stop Makai Lemon. This has got to be a USC game for me. It's got to be. Got to be them. I'm going 31-28. Give me USC. No regret there. We are taking USC for the win. All right, we got a few more quick picks. And then we are going to wrap it up with the final two featured games. Kind of a co-main event there for those two. We got Arkansas State versus Troy. Give me Troy to win 17-14. Shouldn't be a great game. Hawaii versus San Jose State. Hawaii, it's been solid. We'll give them 24-17 for Hawaii. Arizona State, shame on you guys, man. Should be a better. Arizona State, they're going to win against Iowa State 27-24 for a bounce back. Virginia versus Cal. Virginia, they've kind of been sputtering lately. Give me Virginia to win 28-24. Texas Tech versus Kansas State. Kansas State likes to score, man. They don't like to stop anybody, but they like to score. Texas Tech loves to score as well. Give me 42-35 Texas Tech. UCF versus Baylor. Give me Baylor in a 31-28. Georgia Tech going up against NC State. Debated on this. Georgia Tech's flying up the board in my ranking, but 32-21. Then we get Western Virginia going up against Houston. Houston, don't fail me twice this season. Win this game 28-21. Miami versus SMU. Miami should handle business. I got 42-24 in this one. Arizona versus Colorado. Give me Colorado to win a close 31-28 only because they are at home. And we got Notre Dame versus Boston College, which I got Notre Dame winning 42-17. All right, let's wrap it up here with Cincinnati and Utah, and then we're going to head on over to Oklahoma, Tennessee. But Cincinnati and Utah here, for me, is yet again one of these games that's going to be playoff caliber. One of these teams could be a playoff team for us. Cincinnati, the one that's most likely at this moment. Utah would have to be perfect. It would have to probably have somebody slip up in front of them. Dampier is the guy that's on your screen at the moment. Technically listed as doubtful for next week, but he was the emergency QB for the team this week. I assume he'll be good to go next week. That makes things interesting if Dampier can go. Cincinnati, we all know they've been really, really good. They love to put up points. Sorsby's been really good for them. Cincinnati, one of those teams like Virginia, kind of came out of nowhere, but they're starting to fly up boards. Cincinnati, very capable. Cincinnati, do not go and show people why we weren't very high on you before the season. Go and show people why we should be high on you now and why we are high on you now. So Cincinnati, on the road, tough place to win at Utah. It's gonna be a good test for Cincinnati. This is gonna be a make or break moment for them. Like I said, the loser of this game probably isn't a playoff team. If you win this game, you still have to work to do, but it gets you one step closer. And Utah is already on the outs looking in. Cincinnati still has a path. This, to me, means more to Cincinnati than it does Utah. I get it's a Utah home game, but I got to rock with Cincinnati to win this one. Cincinnati on the road. Give me 38-35. I just trust this Cincinnati team at the moment to put up points. At times this season, Utah has kind of looked shaky, so I'm just going to err on the side of caution. Take what my heart and my head's telling me. I'm not going to overthink it. We are taking Cincinnati. All right, and then we are going to wrap it up here with Tennessee and Oklahoma. Biggest game of the week for me, at least, and that's because you got a team in Oklahoma that lately has struggled a little bit. It's okay. They struggled a little bit. Still a really good team that still could have a path into the playoffs, right? They're really good. They could win out. They could maybe fight in for one of those last playoff spots. Tennessee, same thing there, right? They are another team on the outs right now looking in. But if they win out, there could be a playoff spot for them as well. And Tennessee has been a hard one to gain a kind of an idea of at times this season, right? Tennessee has been really good in some points, and then at some points you're like, is this the same Tennessee team? Oklahoma, they're not much different. They are not much different. At their best, they can compete with the top 5 teams in the country, right? We've seen Tennessee compete with Georgia. We've seen Oklahoma compete. We've seen both of these teams have really good games and really good opponents and be able to hang in there, right? Now they get to play each other. They get to play each other. This one is in Tennessee. It's in Tennessee, which to me gives Tennessee the edge. In these close games, these coin flips, I like to go the home team. I want to stay with that motto. It hasn't failed me with Vanderbilt. It's not going to fail me here at Tennessee. Give me Tennessee to win 28-24 in what is going to be a very close game, but a game ultimately that will be decided by 1 or 2 plays. And if it's a game that's going to be decided by 1 or 2 plays, I got to go with the home team in that scenario. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Let me know down below who you think is going to win this week, and let me know down below who you think is a team to watch out for in the playoffs up and coming, right? So I'm like, the team I'm super high on is Alabama now. I only have Alabama ranked 4th because like ultimately Indiana, A&M, and Ohio State all have undefeated records, right? That doesn't mean I'm putting Navy over Alabama. That is not what that means. But I've been a little bit higher on BYU than most. But Alabama is one of those teams right now. I'm really buying stock. I'm buying stock in Alabama. So, Alabama, they're coming. But anyways, thank you all for watching. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And I will see you all for week 11.